Hello, and welcome to the My Heart and Mind podcast, where it's all about creating the feel-good mindset so you can make the most of every moment and reap the benefits of getting the most happiness out of life. And now, over to your host, Sally Crawley.
Well, hello there, wonderful people. Thank you for joining me again. And if it's your first time, welcome to episode number 6 of the My Heart and Mind podcast. This episode's called Direction. A winning tactic is to just do it. Today, we're talking about direction and focus, taking action on your new unique path in life. To know your path, the direction that you want to take, your overall goal, where to start, the steps to take, what is needed to achieve it, and the support that you will need is really important when you're setting direction. At certain times in our lives and for a variety of different reasons, often completely out of the blue, our lives take a massive shift and we can find ourselves looking at a very different future. During cardiac rehabilitation, there are many changes to your future, from medication, quitting smoking, modifying diets, and changing stress levels, not to mention regular exercise. At first, after discharge from hospital, I was overwhelmed with it all. I had no direction and not a clue how to start, let alone what the destination was. So let's get started with today's show and let's create a beginning of the journey working out our direction. So, dictionary definition. Firstly, instructions that you give to someone about how to find a particular place. Direction is the area or position that someone is in, and direction is the ability to find places or to know which direction to go. When our lives take an unexpected turn, it isn't just the here and now that changes, but the future too. This is my definition of direction. It's to start creating the life you want, choosing something that takes you forward to where you want to be. You start with one thing, something small, anything at all, and then the achievement and the self-discovery will give you the momentum to move forward, move you to a place where you want to be, to create your new future. Thinking about the definitions from the dictionary, this is how I feel that it fits in with major change when your life has been turned upside down. With direction, when our life changes, we lose the instructions of how to find a particular place. That place is usually what our expectation of our future was. There are so many new instructions that we can be easily confused. It seems as if the position of where we are in life has shifted after a cardiac event, and we are on unstable ground. We have so many lifestyle changes to make that it can seem overwhelming and almost impossible to manage. And again, we lose the ability to find our place in our new life or to know which direction to go in to find our place of being. This is why direction is a very important state of mind, knowing where to start and what is needed to achieve the ambition of where you want to get to. For me, I'd been through a really stressful physical and emotional period. I needed to focus on the next steps for wellness. I knew what I wanted, and like when you're on a journey, I needed a map or a sat-nav to help me find a way. Having direction in life helps us to stay focused and moving towards the feelings that make us feel good. I don't believe it is the things in life that make us happy. It's the experiences that those things make us feel that make us feel good. Does that make sense? Of course, you may want a Gucci watch, but it's not the actual watch that causes the happiness. It's the having it. It's what it means to you, how you feel when you see it, how you feel about it and what you think about it. And to me, it's the same with life after a cardiac event. It's not the fact that we have survived that makes us happy. It's what we do and what we experience that will truly bring us joy. And rather than just survive, I want us all to thrive. All things start in the mind, our wishes, our dreams and our goals. Even if it seems right now unachievable or unrealistic, trust your instincts. If it feels right, if it feels good, then take the first step towards it. Become determined. Yes, there may be a setback and failure along the way, but you can succeed if you try, adjust and try again. Failure is just a different outcome. Finding and following your direction shouldn't be a struggle. When you're determined, have grit and a positive mindset, action will naturally be with you. And remember, at the start of your journey, your actions don't have to be massive. You don't have to achieve the final outcome straight away. My dad, Colin Wilson, always said to me when I was young, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. Oh, I think I might have just given my age away. Never mind. Anyway, thinking about direction, we will have a discussion in a little while about some practical actions that you can take to get you in direction. But for now, I thought I'd tell you about some of the other topics that are going to be coming up in the future under purpose. So we'll probably have lots of things to think and talk about, but one of them for me is about taking action to get traction. And today, the activity we're going to do is going to be along those lines. And then there's sorting out the direction for exercise and activity, the direction of your healthy eating plan, direction of how do you sleep well? How about creating new behaviours? We'll talk about volunteering and having a life purpose. We'll also be talking about the magnificent you and how you can bring out your inner warrior. And then there's always your next step, the future and your goals. So let's get direction and take action. Are you sitting there with a map? You know where you want to go, how to get there, but you're just waiting to arrive. Well, you're going to have a long wait, as you will need to take action to get anywhere. Either get up and drive or get up and get a ride. One way or another, that's the only way it's going to happen. Well, until we get matter transporters. Beam me up, Scotty. I'll be the first on the list. Finding direction in life is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. Like the journey I mentioned. It means that at some point you're going to have to stop thinking and actually start taking action. Just do it. Go on, go do it. Seems simple, but I do know it's quite difficult. So here's a little activity for you to just get you on your path and so we can start getting you in direction, the right direction, and knowing what it feels like. Remembering what I said about it's the feelings that we get that create how we feel. So number one, what I want you to do for this activity is just to take a little while and list down all of the things that you want to do that you haven't done yet. Make it a bucket list. It doesn't have to be a finite bucket list, but just some ideas just for this piece of work. Maybe it's things that you've been thinking about and planning a lot for. Maybe it's things that you've just had a passing thought about. I'd like to do that. They don't have to be earth-shattering fantastic, like a dream holiday or moving across country. It should include tasks that you mean to do around the house. I think in a previous episode I talked about the fishing kit and clearing out the kitchen cupboards. It might be a decorating job. It could be, as I said, the fishing equipment. It's up to you. It could be about something to do with your heart and healing your heart, a new healthy eating regime, or taking regular exercise. What about starting a new hobby or finishing off something you've started? So think of the things that you want to take action on. By taking action, you create more options and more choices. You gain new information, you learn lessons, some good, some less than good. But most of all, you feel like you're moving in the right direction. One of the main reasons you may not act is because you're scared. Scared of messing up. Scared of it not working out. Scared it might go wrong. And scared about finding out that it wasn't what you thought it was and that it wasn't right after all. Well, you have my permission to change your mind. So just bear that in mind, that anything that you start, you can always stop. It's your choice. So moving on to the next step. What I want you to do is to choose one item off your list. And I want you to ask yourself, what's stopping you from moving in that direction? Listen to the first thing that comes to mind and jot them down somewhere. Then look at your list of barriers, things that stop you, negative or limited thoughts. What evidence do you have to support them? So think about that. Anything that is a barrier or something that you are saying to yourself or you believe that will stop you, ask yourself, what evidence do you have to support that? If there is any evidence, then what can you do to change it so you can move in that direction? How can they be removed? Gone over or gone under or gone around? If nothing can change the facts or it's out of your control, then park that item for now and choose another. But once you've got that one item on your list of something that you want to do that you haven't done yet, and maybe it's the fear that's been holding you back, I want you to just do it. Decide and take action. Set a date, time and a place. Number 4, last of all, enjoy. Moving in the right direction right now. And remember, just because you started to take action doesn't mean you're committed forever. Remember, it's your life and you can change your mind. If it doesn't work out, that's great. You'll have learned something of value. You'll also know that you need to do something different and try something else. Taking action, living, learning and adapting is life. There will always be some growth out of your experience. Coming out the other side with knowledge, know-how and wisdom is life. It's far better to do something than nothing. Give it a go. I've created a short 10-minute relaxation for you. It will help you to create a sense of direction and prepare you to take action, to just do it. And what I suggest is, before you are going to do whatever it is that's on your list, have a listen to the relaxation and get yourself ready so that you can take action and give it a go. So if you want that download, just pop into the website www.myheartandmind.co.uk/AD005. So, start small. This is what I want you to do this week. I want you to start small, take baby steps. It's like strengthening a muscle. Get the feel-good vibe and grow the habit of taking action with direction. And don't keep it to yourself. We have the community. Why not share what it is that you're going to do? We will all be there to support you, to be your rah, 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 and make sure that you know that you're not alone. So what are the barriers and how can you overcome them? So one of the reasons is that you may not feel ready for this yet. And that's okay, totally fine. Whilst the six mindsets are all interchangeable, the action-taking one is one for a lot later down the line of your rehabilitation. Do you remember my story about only being able to answer my emails for a short period of time? It took me a while to get to the point that I was able to take that action, both physically and emotionally, that most people take for granted and that is part of their everyday existence. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind. So just to recap, this is the activity. 1, take a little while, take some time to list down all of the things that you've wanted to do that you haven't done yet. Choose one of the items off your list. Listen as you ask yourself what's prevented you or stopped you from doing it. Set a date and a time and a place that you're going to do this action off your list of directions. And then listen to my free download. And then just do it. And enjoy moving in the right direction right now. And again, just to remind you, let us know in the group how you get on with this. It would be really brilliant. And I'd love you to say that you'll join me again and help me with my ambition of getting this podcast out to many. So come with me and together we can love the life we live. And it would be so good if you would share or subscribe to iTunes or whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. And if you could rate or leave a comment, that would be brilliant too. So just a quick reminder, the free download of the relaxation for direction and just do it is www.myheartandmind.co.uk/AD005. So that wraps up the first season. Thank you so much for listening with me over the last 6 episodes. And I hope you've really enjoyed my introduction to the 6 mindsets of emotional cardiac rehabilitation. If there are any topics that you'd like to have discussed on this podcast, then drop me a line by email at Sally, SALLIE, at myheartandmind.co.uk, or just let me know within our group and I will see what I can do to fulfill your dreams. And as the beat goes on, one moment at a time, I will speak to you again real soon. And until then, thank you so much for listening. Bye bye for now. Take good care.
You've been listening to Sally Crawley and the My Heart and Mind podcast, a show for you if you've had a heart attack, cardiac event or other life-changing experience and want to feel good. It's all about mastering your feelings and emotions so you can feel great and live the life you love. To find out more, visit www.myheartandmind.co.uk and note that that's an AND and not the ampersand character. Go be magnificent.